Hey there, welcome to my video. If you've already watched my other videos, thank you for continuing to stick with me. If you're new to this, my name is Carissa. I am 28 years old and I have bipolar disorder. So welcome to my channel. Please go back and watch my other videos to learn a little bit more about my story and why I am filming these videos. So today I really want to cover the misconceptions around bipolar disorder or about bipolar disorder. A lot of this was inspired by this book. Please get this book if you want to learn more about bipolar disorder. It's awesome. It's called Loving Someone with Bipolar Disorder, written by Julia A. Fast and John D. Preston, P-S-Y-D. Super great. It actually taught me a lot about myself and cleared up some misconceptions that I even had about my own disease. Totally highly recommended. Other than that, I think that it's fair for us to go ahead and just jump right in and learn some more about what are the misconceptions about bipolar disorder. I'm not going to be covering all of them. I'm going to be covering the ones that I deal with the most. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. The first misconception that I really want to cover is the one that we're all violent. This one really hurts, okay? I have never hurt anybody in my life, maybe with words, but I definitely had I had a really turbulent childhood, so I had picked up some tendencies, but that had nothing to do with my bipolar disorder. This is just garbage. It needs to be, this has got to go. It's really hurtful because for me, briefly, I don't want to name the organization, but I really wanted to work in this organization with children. And a parent had concerns and wouldn't let me work with their child because of my bipolar disorder, and they thought that I would be a harm to them. I have siblings that are minors. I've worked with children all my life. I don't ever want to hurt children. I want to be a mother. I'm not harmful at all. I think that the media plays a big part in this when they're like, such and such shot up this building and they're also bipolar disorder. Can you be bipolar and violent? Yes. Are we all violent? No. There are so many different factors. So please do not believe that misconception. It is super false and really harmful for those of us that are living with the disorder and that are not violent. The second one that I want to cover is so silly to me that it's just so silly that we're all the same. What? No two humans are the same. So to say that everybody with bipolar is the same is just silly. I mean, come on, guys, really. Not to be rude, but just throwing that out there. Few things I want to educate y'all on to kind of clear up the air a little bit. Bipolar is a spectrum disorder. So you can fall anywhere on the spectrum. So it's really common for people to understand that on autism, people can be all the way over here or down here. Bipolar is also a spectrum disorder. We're not going to be the same. In addition to that, there's 4 different types of bipolar. You can be type 1, type 2, cyclothymia, I can never say that right, or not otherwise specified. So there you go right there. I mean, there's 4 different types. Not only are there different types and it's a spectrum disorder, but there's also the issue of some people living with psychosis. I don't have that. But you can actually just be psychosis. You can struggle with that without even having another mental illness. Most people are not aware of that. But you can even have psychosis with depression or with schizophrenia. It's not correlated to bipolar. So some people do and some people do not. So that would make us different. And some people deal with paranoia, which is going to make your bipolar look different. I don't deal with either paranoia or why did I literally just forget what I was talking about? Psychosis, there we go. I don't deal with either of those. So I'm on a spectrum. Where I fall is not where somebody else falls, and it's kind of insulting when some people will tell me I can't have bipolar disorder because I don't act like such and such person they know with bipolar disorder, and that's because I'm a different human. I have my own case. I'm in the spectrum where I fall and they're where they fall. We are different people. No two diseases are alike. So yeah, it's totally silly. That's false. Please understand and do not believe or judge us based off of, I don't like saying us, I don't like that, but no, it's just false. So know that. The next one I want to cover is misconception number 3 is that mania equates happiness. This book, the one that I recommended not too long ago, really helped me understand this. Really get it. It's excellent. Woo, that people buy it. For real. Sorry, that was annoying. But mania actually can equal irritability. I did not realize how many episodes I was going through until I understood that. So I didn't realize that I had a lot more hypomanic episodes. Because I thought that it just always meant happiness. Now, can I be happy? Yeah, I can be very euphoric. Am I always? No. So there are actually some people that are bipolar and never experience the euphoria. They only experience high irritability. And it makes sense. I know there are times for me, especially when it's been weeks and I've not slept more than 3 or 4 hours a night. And when I'm dealing with the grandiosity on top of that, when you feel like you're better than everybody else, which is what I deal with, and I'm not sleeping, I'm just super irritable. My body's not functioning right. I'm sick at that time. So it's totally kind of crazy. It's not always the highs and lows of happiness and sorrow. Sometimes it's actually irritability and sorrow. So yeah, interesting fact, but that is a misconception. I don't know why, I just wanted to throw this in there. Apparently I really love that book, so go ahead, go out and get it and buy it and read it. Yeah, I'm not going to be annoying and grab that book again, but the next misconception, which I really learned more even about by reading that book, is that our mood swings are random. They're not always. It's actually just, well, they can be. I'm not going to categorize that and say they're not always. Well, they can be, but here's the deal. Bipolar is a cyclical disease, so you're gonna run in cycles. I discovered in my very first video, which I had no idea until I even made that video, that every 3 years I have a major episode. I had 3. I didn't even know. But not only that, you can see a lot of patterns in your life, and then certain triggers will actually lead you up into having an episode. And it can even be seasonal depression. It can be moving. It doesn't really matter, but it is cyclical. It was funny to me one time when my grandmother was like, I can always tell when you're getting ready to just call me and be super social. She's like, you just kind of work in cycles. She's like, there'll be times I don't hear from you, and then all of a sudden I hear from you every day for a couple weeks, and you're just there, and it's just, you're a cycle. But I can always tell there's just something about you that I can just tell. And I'm like, well, because I'm bipolar, that's my disease. That's what it is to be bipolar, is to be a cyclical person. So do know that actually we go into cycles, and you can kind of map them out a little bit. The more you monitor it, the more you can see it coming. They're not completely random, though they can be. They're not completely random. The next, I always want to say myth, the next misconception, and I don't like this one because it actually was really detrimental to my recovery. It is the fact that we are just moody people. Yeah, I'll admit it, I'm pretty moody, and I'm probably moodier than your normal person. And there are moody people out there that are just moody without a mental illness. That's totally true. But everybody chalked it up to me just being a little bit more moody. And I was like, well, maybe, but there's more to it. No, it's an actual chemical imbalance, and it's really impacting, it's how my brain works. I'm going to shift, and I'm going to hit these extremes, and they last a while. Like, I can be hypomanic for seriously, my first episode was 4 months long of hypomania. 4 months. That is a long time. I don't know how nothing worse came out. Wow, I just had a flashback to something that did go through then. Anyway, but that's not true. Please don't discredit us. Please don't discredit our mood shifts down to just being moody people. That's kind of insulting. I don't like to hear it. We are people that have a chemical imbalance that causes our moods to shift dramatically in ways that we cannot always control, and that's just the reality of it. All right, 2 more, and then I'll be done. The second to last one I want to go ahead and cover right now is that we're always in an episode. I did say earlier that it's in a cycle, and you can kind of track it, which is kind of cool. We're not always high, and we're not always low. We can actually have times of reprieve or where we're not really experiencing any symptoms of either of the moods. We're just regular, just plateaued, just average, just ourselves. We're always ourselves, but just our healthier selves. So no, please do not think that at any given point I'm in an episode. That's not true. I can go months without one. So that's just false. Okay, the last one, and this is actually a super harmful one to believe. Please do not believe this, okay? Listen to me clearly. There's a misconception that it will just go away. It does not ever just go away, ever, okay? If you have arthritis, which I do, it is always in my body, okay? I have arthritis in my back. It is there. It lives there. It does not always hurt me. It does not always affect me, but I have arthritis in my back, okay? Always gonna be there now for the rest of my life. My bipolar disorder is in my brain. It is part of my DNA, I think, right? Is that a way to say it? My brain chemistry. It is who I am. It will be there. It is so crucial you listen to me right now, because what happens is people that do not understand their disorder will tell you that they're cured when they're not, for a couple of reasons, okay? Like I said before, this is a cyclical disease. So you hit your ups and downs. And I also stated that you can hit just nothing. You can plateau. You can just be regular, experiencing no symptoms or very few symptoms, okay? What will happen is a lot of people will go off of their medication. I don't know why I say a lot. I'm just gonna say people will go off of their medication, potentially be right here in the middle, experiencing no symptoms, and go about and gallivant and say, I'm cured, look at me, I just worked out and I just did this and I just cured myself and I don't have bipolar anymore. It doesn't need medication, it's not that. I worked out and I just worked my way out of it. False. It naturally is going to do that. The disease will naturally plateau on its own. You will naturally not be in an episode at times. So what happens is these people will go out, they will proclaim they have cured their disease and it's just gone away, because you can go a whole year without an episode even. It's entirely possible. And they'll be like, I'm cured. And what they don't do though, is they don't come back after they've been ill again and follow up and say, I was wrong, I'm sick. And so these people, all they remember is them coming out, all the people that heard them say, I'm cured, I don't have this illness anymore, only remember that. They don't get the follow-up, they don't hear the truth, they don't see the next episode, they have no idea that this person actually has relapsed and is going through this again. And then they'll go out and they'll spread this false myth to other people that's saying, oh, I know John, he's cured from bipolar. No, there is no cure for this disease. It does not just go away. It's cyclical. We do have times of normalcy. I don't want to use that word, but I'm stuck with it right now. So please do not buy into that myth. Okay, well, those are the most common misconceptions that you will probably come about with bipolar disorder, or at least the most common ones that I have come about. My psychiatrist has been a great help in me understanding these a little bit better. I encourage you to do your part in learning as much as you can. I know I've emphasized this book a bunch, but seriously get it. It's great. It will really help. Thank you again for watching. Please make sure to like my video. Thumbs up are awesome. To leave a comment down below. I want to hear everything you have to say. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any new fresh content. And have a great rest of your day, no matter what time it is. So thank you. Bye.